Don't you hate when you find a cheat and then that cheat may end up costing you more money than if you just would have did it the normal way in the first place? Well, for today's project, I made 3 mistakes that had I not been able to solve them, that would have been the case. All right, so let me show you what I'm working on today, and I'll share those 3 mistakes so you don't make them yourself. All right, so for the bunkhouse, I need to insulate it. And insulation costs a fortune now. So I was able to get all of these 4x4 sheets of EPS styrofoam insulation for $2 a sheet, which is ridiculous because pink insulation was going to cost me close to $3,000 to insulate this bunkhouse. And so with this EPS, I'm probably going to do it for under 150, but I need to make the EPS work. And they're 4x4 sheets of various thicknesses. So I had to find a way to cut them. And I've cut styrofoam insulation before with a carpenter's knife, and it's a pain in the butt. I tried a turkey cutter, a meat carver, electric meat carver. That didn't work. It worked, but super slow and not fun. So I wanted to use a hot knife cutter. So look at what I built. Zoom back here. So this is my arch. This is my jig for cutting the foam. You can see the wire here. So let's start from the beginning where the power comes in. So you can use pretty much any AC/DC power brick, but it's got to have enough power. And so a lot of the laptops will work, laptop adapters, but I wanted to make sure I had enough power. So this is like $23 or something on Amazon, and it is a 12 volt 10. No, sorry, what is it? 24 volt 10 amp. 24 volt 10 amp brick. And then that runs here, and you need to get yourself some adapters. I think they're called 10 mil adapters, maybe. Not sure. I'll put in the link. Just message me if you want to find them. And so you plug that into there, and then you need your PWM controller. It's just a dimmer switch, and then you take that dimmer switch and you wire it to the nichrome wire. That is 25 gauge nichrome wire. You'll need a couple connectors to connect your conductive electrical wires to your resistant nichrome wire, and then a spring. Now, let's explain the mistakes that I made. So the first mistake I made was I built it this wide because, I grab a sheet here, because I needed to cut thickness this way, right? So I built it that wide. But the first cut I was going to make was a lot higher, right? But it was up here. But the first cut I was going to make was going in this direction. Okay? And so, might have been more than 2 mistakes. 3 mistakes. So this was the first spring I bought. And as you can see, it's much smaller than the current spring I'm using. Okay? So what happened with that first cut I made was I had this super weak spring and a super long wire. Oh, and also this wasn't working. So I'll get to that mistake in a second. But what happened was, because this wasn't working, I just plugged the conductive electrical into the resistant straight away. So that meant it was getting the full 24 volts, 10 amps of power. So that's 240 watts. And what happened is this wire got red hot and just sagged like crazy. And because the spring was so weak, when I pushed through, it just made this super ridiculous wavy cut. Okay. So first thing you need to do is make the thickness, or make the length, the width of your wire just a little bit longer than what you're cutting. And that way you won't have a whole bunch of wire free floating to just get hot and expand. So over here, you'll see I've got this, and you'll see I've got the eye hooks in there. It's a bit of a bit of work, not too bad, but there we go. But I just screw that into place, and then I have a shorter wire, goes from here to here, and it cut beautifully. So as you can see, those were the first cuts I made, turning the 4-foot sheets into 2-foot sheets. Okay, so there's the first two mistakes. Is make sure that your wire is not too wide. Make sure your spring is not too weak. The third mistake I made was right here with the PWM controller, the dimmer switch. And you'll see here I have in and out. Well, I also, if you look over here, I also have positive and negative. I didn't think polarity mattered that much for DC current, but it does in this situation. So the first time I had the power coming in from the AC-DC adapter, I had these wires switched. So negative was going to positive, positive was going to negative. So the dimmer did not work. So when you're wiring that up, make sure that works. Let me think if there's anything, sorry, make sure the polarity is correct. And you'll definitely want a dimmer here, okay? Because one, if you just power if you have full power going in, like I say, this just gets molten hot. And when it's that hot, it's weak and it'll break. So far, I've only broken two wires and I've done a fair bit of cutting. So I think that's it. Let me show you how it goes through. It's a little bit slow, but it's not too slow. But it's definitely way better than any of the other alternatives. And also, I saved close to $3,000 doing it this way.
Okay, let's go.